What's up, everybody, and welcome to week 2 of the digital NFL. It's digital Vikings at digital Packers. Hopefully the rosters are correct and Aaron Rodgers is starting, because if he's not, this is going to be quite the event for the Vikings. We're going to have a free-for-all on the backup. Welcome to digital Lambeau Field, home of Green Bay. This is a game that I'm very excited about. Minnesota's been good for the last several years, probably 3 or 4 years. They've been a really solid team. Great defense. Green Bay has a great offense, and their defense has struggled at times, especially against the pass and third down, as we witnessed in last week's game. Not in the digital sphere, but in real life. They let up a few third down and 11s. So, looks like Minnesota's going to get the ball first. And here we go. Mason Crosby with the kick. Take it from about the 3. Ooh, wow. Nice run back up to the 29, 30-yard line. First down for Minnesota. New quarterback Kirk Cousins this year for the Vikings. Those are his stats from last year. 4,000 yards. Wow. I did not realize he had that many yards. That was with the Washington Redskins. Now in purple and gold. Minnesota got Dalvin Cook back this year, and he looked really good last week. They have Stephon Diggs, Austin Seferian-Jenkins, great receivers. They're set to do well on both the offensive and defensive side. And there's Kirk Cousins with a completed pass to Stephon Diggs for 17 yards. So good start for Minnesota. 1 play, 1 first down. I like Stephon Diggs a lot. He is a freaking great receiver. Got open on looks like a nice little crossing route. 17 yards. First down. There's a look at the Green Bay huddle. Hopefully this game doesn't end in a tie like it did last week. Shout out to Poor Clock Management. Cousins to Adam Thielen, their third receiver. That's who I was forgetting. I knew they had a couple of good receivers. And Thielen was the guy that I forgot about. There's Mike McCarthy hanging out. Look at how cinematic this is. Look at how cinematic Madden is. So that was a nice 7-yard gain on second down. Single back, look at that bunch formation down at the bottom. Play action to Dalvin Cook. Over the middle, Thielen is wide open, and Cousins so far is just picking apart this defense. 54 yards through the air already. They have, that's their 4th play at this point? Goodness gracious. Another wide open route. Looked like King fell off, had the coverage, but I think he got bottled up with 89 there. Another great play. Man, if this game's like a shootout in real life, that could be a whole lot of fun.
Here we go.
Still no running plays. Oh, check that. There's a running play. That's a good one. That's a 7-yard gain at least. 1 rush, 7 yards. 7 yards. 7 yards for Dalvin Cook. Obviously, last week's game was incorrectly predicted by Madden. Madden predicted that there would be a tie. Green Bay won with a massive 20-point comeback. Aaron Rodgers, the hero, came back after an injury. It was amazing. Oh, it was incredible. It's incredible. Just like Napoleon's suit. Second down and 3 for the Vikings. Another run play right up the middle. He had it, but for some reason he moved to the right and right into the defender. He might have had a shot at a touchdown if he didn't go. Cameraman tripped. He's going to bounce and just right into... He had a blocker. That was weird. I guess Lord Madden didn't want them to score that quickly. The joke here is that John Madden is controlling all of this. I'm your commentator, Sean Madden. Just said, boom! I can't remember any other John Madden catchphrases. Bad telestration and boom. That's about what I remember from him. Like one time he circled a blimp. Like that's not a joke. He's like, here's the blimp, and then circled it. Speaking of bad telestration, after that first down run doesn't go anywhere. Ryan Leaf was commentating a Washington State Cougars game last weekend for Pac-12 Network, and was talking about how he pulled a hamstring and said it was his left leg, and then telestrated his right leg. So I thought that was interesting. Or maybe it was that he pulled his right hamstring and circled his left leg. Looks like you're going to lose a couple yards on that rush. The point is it was bad telestration. Cougars won. Go Cougs. Martinez with a nice stop, and that'll be probably a 3-yard loss. And that'll bring up 3rd and goal back at the 10. So after Minnesota got off to a really great start and zipped down the field in about 4 plays, Green Bay's defense has picked it up, and they tend to, I mean, even in regular games on Sunday, they tend to play a bend don't break style of defense. Bringing the blitz, and that's going to be just thrown out of the back of the end zone. So Kirk Cousins, who was 3 for 3 for 54 yards, misses that pass after a few runs, and it's going to be 4th and goal. Interesting turn of events here. I don't know who their kicker is. It's a good number, though. Shout out to the number 7. Also the number 5. Paul Horn, or number 5. That may not even actually be correct. So in a drive that took off 4 minutes and 3 seconds, Minnesota, I had to go through about every team there. I couldn't remember who was playing. Minnesota gets a field goal. Rodgers will be up next, looking to put some points on the board himself. As does, I'm assuming every offense looks at it and goes, hey, let's score some points. No one goes, hey, let's not get a 3 and out and punt it to him on the 7th play of the drive. These games are played in exhibition mode, just as like a fun fact. Hopefully the rosters are a little bit more accurate. I know last week's game had Aaron Ripkowski for Green Bay, who actually was cut from the team days prior, but I guess the rosters hadn't updated. So we'll see what happens. We're going to assume that Aaron Rodgers starts on Sunday. In an injury-shortened season, Aaron Rodgers still threw for 1,600 yards, 16 touchdowns, and 6 interceptions. I think 3 of those came in one game against the Carolina Panthers. This is our first look at Green Bay this week. All 3 receivers played well, both against the Bears in real life, and Randall Cobb here in the digital league played really well. Allison Geronimo had quite a few catches as well. First play is a run with Williams for about 5 yards or so. He'll bring up a 2nd down. Aaron Rodgers and Devontae Adams. Also, shout out to the Vikings defender Harrison Smith, number 22. I believe he's standing right at that 4-yard line up in the upper right-hand chunk of the screen. He had a huge game on defense for me in fantasy football and helped me win that game. So shout out to him. He's a great defensive player. It's kind of weird because my fantasy team actually got auto-drafted. The Kesha State Warriors got auto-drafted. So I ended up with Kirk Cousins and Marcus Mariota. And I thought I'd play a little bit of a gamble and start Mariota as Aaron Rodgers is sacked way back at the 14-yard line. That's going to bring up a 4th and 21. Green Bay's going to punt. And not a ton of time came off that clock, so the defense might be a little tired. Looked like he maybe had something up there on the top of your screen right about the 30-yard line, but the defense came down and was able to get him. Anyway, my fantasy team, for all of you who care. For some reason, I was like, oh, I'll start Marcus Mariota. That'll go well. He got injured, and Kirk Cousins went off. So I need Kirk Cousins and Harrison Smith to have good games against Green Bay, but Green Bay still wins at the end. However, if Green Bay loses to Minnesota, not the biggest deal in the world. Early in the season, obviously, and if Green Bay doesn't win, I would rather... The team I would want to win the NFC North would be the Vikings. Not much of a punt return there. 1st and 10 for Minnesota at the 33-yard line. 14 seconds remain. See if the defense can hold here. Force a punt. Definitely seemed like they got stronger as the drive went along last time around. Hand off to Dalvin Cook for no gain. That should take us to the end of the first quarter. At the end of the first quarter, it's Minnesota 3, Green Bay 0. Today's coverage of digital football is not brought to you by Snickers, but is actually brought to you by Week in Review, the normal show on youtube.com/channel/smorgasbord of letters and numbers. Not the actual title name, but I can't even repeat it. It's awful. Maybe I'll flash it on the screen. We'll see what happens. Minnesota faces a 2nd and 10 coming out of the huddle. First play of the second quarter is a run to the right and no gain. Maybe a yard. Actually, maybe they lost a yard. There's Kyle Rudolph. He's good. He's a good defender. He's a good tight end. They have a lot of weapons on the Minnesota offensive side of the ball, and they haven't used them this time. They got free a lot in the passing game, and they've decided just to run it, and they haven't had as much success running. Had a couple of good ones at the start, and not much afterwards. Green Bay brought pressure. Stephon Diggs had the first down, came back too far. And didn't get the first down. So that's a weird series of events. Shouldn't have drank that Mountain Dew. I'm all burping. So we needed 11, got 10. Minnesota punts it away, and Green Bay will take over 1st and 10 at the 20-yard line. 4:58 left in the first half. I still can't believe the comeback Aaron Rodgers led against the Bears on Sunday night. Absolutely incredible. It was a fun game to watch. Well, the second half was fun. The first half was emotionally devastating. Crushing. Hurt a lot. Rodgers hands off to Williams, and that's a big loss of 4 yards or so. 3 yards. Big number 98, Joseph, got through the line and stopped that play in its tracks. Nowhere to go. Got through one block and then fought off the tight end for the sack. The rushing stop. Green Bay, -1 yard total rushing. So that's a good start. Green Bay has -13 yards of total offense. And that's not going to help. So 3rd and 12. And we haven't really seen Aaron Rodgers drop back. He dropped back once, got sacked. And this Minnesota defense is really stifling Green Bay's offense. Been a lot of runs. Green Bay with negative 12 yards total offense. If they get a first down here, they'll be right at 0. Out to Jimmy Graham. Needed 12, got 11. And Green Bay's going to have to punt. And again, they didn't take a ton of time off the clock. So Minnesota, with all 3 timeouts, they're obviously going to have plenty of time to work their way down the field. They also have the 2-minute warning and a really big punt return up to the 34-yard line or so. Right, they're going to mark them at the 35. So that was a nice return, good field position. 1st and 10 for Minnesota. Cousins leads them back out on the field. Started strong, but they've really cooled down in the last drive. Even the latter half of the scoring drive, they really struggled to pick up yards. First down, 10 yards to go. Again, they're getting yards through the air, but they keep running the ball. Play action pass. Cousins, nice drop, and there you go. You have Stephon Diggs, broke a tackle and is going to score. That's a touchdown, Minnesota. Oh, I spoke too soon. Haha, Clinton Dix. John Madden said, hey, we don't want a touchdown just yet. For some reason. Huge gain, though. Ginormous gain. He had it. For some reason, nice move to make the defender miss. All he had to do was keep going right a little bit. And that's nice catch. Great catch. So it's 1st and goal at the 4. See if Minnesota can cash in with a touchdown instead of a field goal this time around. Hand off to Cook, no gain. I'm sorry, that's not good. Clock ticks down a little bit. Working their way towards the 2-minute warning. Obviously, still all 3 timeouts. I mean, there's no hurry, but if they walk away with anything less than a touchdown, he had him wide open. He had 11 wide open in the end zone and just missed him. Just didn't see him. You got to feel disappointed if the Vikings don't walk away with points out of this. Walk away without a touchdown, I should say. That huge play down the field and to walk away with just another 3 points. It's a big stand for Green Bay's defense, but Minnesota's played well enough to be up 14-0 probably. Last play before the 2-minute warning is a 3rd and goal, flipping it out of bounds and just nowhere to go. So Green Bay's defense holds again, and Minnesota's going to have to settle for a field goal attempt. Not only that, but there's still 1 minute and 58 seconds remaining, which means that Green Bay, with all 3 of its timeouts, has more than enough time to put a field goal or a touchdown on the board to take the lead. So here is the attempt. 4th and goal from the 4. Kick is up and good. So Minnesota 6-0. Though it could be much worse. Probably should be 10-0, if not 14-0. And the reason I say at least 10-0 is Stephon Diggs should have scored on that big play. But Kirk Cousins also missed a wide open receiver on, I want to say it was 2nd and 10 or 2nd and goal. Just didn't see him. So there's your reason for 10-0. 14-0. They threw it well enough through the air to probably score. They got stifled with the run game and then ran a bad pass play on that first scoring drive. The good news is Green Bay's defense held up, and a nice return is going to give them the ball at the 29-yard line. So, good field position. The defense is keeping them in the game. If Green Bay's offense can start to pick up some first downs and work their way down the field, they should be able to at least cut it to 3. You know, with all 3 timeouts remaining. But we saw this last week. We saw the 2-minute warning. We saw Green Bay have more than enough time, not use their timeouts effectively, and basically get bailed out of poor clock management with a bad defensive play by the Bears. We'll see what happens this time. Rodgers steps up, he's going to throw out to Allison. He'll run out of bounds, and that'll be up to the 41-yard line. 1st and 10. Good start. Allison with just enough space to make that catch. That angle, he is much more wide open. Defender's not even in the shot. There he is. Good start to the drive. Sees Green Bay with a 1st and 10 at the 41-yard line. Clock is stopped because Allison went out of bounds. Rodgers is in the shotgun. Drops back, lobs it to... Who's that? Jimmy Graham? Hey, it's Jimmy Graham with a 21-yard reception. He was right on that line. That's his 2nd catch. Another 1st down. Look at that. Ooh, I don't know if that's a catch. Hopefully they don't look at that, because didn't look like both feet were in bounds. But as long as they snap it, it'll count. This is where if I were on the couch, I'd be moving my hands furiously. Like, oh, you gotta snap it. Don't give him time. Cobb is wide open on the right side of the field, and that's going to be down to the 17-yard line. All of a sudden, Green Bay starting to pick up yards through the air. They have 51 total yards of offense after starting at like a hole of -13, so that was great. Cobb gets in on the action with a nice 21-yard gain. The clock continues to move, 17 yards away from the end zone.
319!
Still no need for a timeout use. They have plenty of time. Rodgers drops back, steps up, moves to his left, and he's going to take off with it out of bounds. 6-yard gain. Rhodes with the tackle. 2nd and 4 from the 11. Green Bay obviously can get a 1st down before the touchdown at about the 7-yard line. Empty backfield for Rodgers. Takes the snap. Looked like he might have had Graham open, but just missed the throw. Graham had some space. Would have at least picked up the 1st down. And now it's 3rd and 4. Still plenty of time. All their timeouts left. .102 left in the game. Needs 3 pass stops the clock. He ran into the defender. Minnesota going to take a timeout with 57 seconds left. 4th and 1. And I don't know if I agree with that run play. He had the 1st down, but he did the weird thing where he ran into the defender and gave him the opportunity to stop him. So we'll see what Green Bay does here. Looks like they're going to bring out Mason Crosby in the field goal unit to cut the lead in half. Smart timeout use by the Minnesota Vikings on that last play. Give themselves a little bit of time to put some more points on the board. They have also been successful through the air and will probably give themselves a pretty good opportunity to kick a field goal, at least get into field goal range. Crosby knocks it through, and it's 6-3. So again, we've seen both sides start to get some stuff going through the air, but both defenses have held when necessary in the red zone, and it's been nothing but field goals here. So top tier excitement here in the Digital Football League. Nothing more exciting than really close field goals. Green Bay's got to feel pretty good about only being down by 3 instead of potentially 7-11. Mason Crosby kicks it away. Minnesota again, 54 seconds is plenty of time with 2 timeouts. Ran it out of the end zone. And a nice run back is going to give him an extra 9 yards field position. Don't know if it was worth the time, though. 48 seconds left. First and 10 from the 29. Vikings with a 3 receiver set. Cousins to Diggs. Diggs makes another nice move, and yet again, looks like Clinton Dix on the tackle. Trying to figure out if I got that name right. Minnesota takes a timeout. 6-3 here, second quarter. As always, today's coverage of digital football is brought to you by Weekend Review. Check it out every Tuesday on this very YouTube channel. Exciting stuff. .42 seconds for the Minnesota Vikings. 1 timeout left. 48-yard line on Green Bay's side of the field. Hard count got the defender to go into the neutral zone, but he didn't snap the ball. Something that Aaron Rodgers is very good at. And a huge gain down the sideline for 27 yards. So a couple big plays. Laquan Treadwell on that reception. And just like that, Minnesota's at least in field goal range, if not all the way into the red zone. And Green Bay's been vulnerable with the passing game. They've done a pretty good job bottling up the run game, but they have not slowed down all, 96 receivers that the Vikings have. The clock is running. They did not take a timeout. 20 seconds left. Don't know why they didn't take a timeout. They even decided to huddle up for some reason, which was weird. 13 seconds left. Cousins got to be aware of the time. 7, 6, 5. Timeout with 5 seconds left, and that feels like a huge wasted opportunity. 2 big plays, and to come away with a field goal is a ginormous disappointment when you have a timeout in your back pocket. Man, that's awful. Green Bay has been gifted stops and points with poor clock management, or a defensive breakdown because of their poor clock management. Field goal unit is out, 2nd and 2. Doesn't matter, there are 5 seconds left in the half. Minnesota looking to put their lead back up to 6 points. And that's exactly what they do. 9-3 with 2 seconds left. Does feel like a bit of a missed opportunity down there. Should have called timeout. I mean, you have 3 shots at the end zone. Worst case scenario, incomplete pass. stops the clock at least. I don't know. Super weird clock management here in the DNFL Digital Football League. Kick is away on what should be the final play of the half, or will be the final play of the half. Barring any sort of defensive penalty. We'll run it out to the 28, but it won't matter. We're going to halftime. Minnesota leads 9-3. Again, if you like field goals from pretty close, this is a game for you. Big plays, but both defenses have held. There's your stats. Minnesota, 175 passing yards. We're back with the second half action. 9-3 Minnesota. Looks like Green Bay is going to get the ball here to start the second half. First half dominated by the Vikings. Green Bay got a couple big plays there towards the end to cut the lead in half. Gave up a couple big plays, and Minnesota was able to kick a field goal to extend their lead back to 6. Aaron Rodgers will get the ball first, looking for the lead. He'll run it out to the 23-yard line, and that's where Green Bay will take over for their first possession of the second half. I don't know why Jimmy Graham's running off the field. Need you on offense, buddy. First down and 10 yards to go. 23-yard line is where Green Bay will start this drive. Handoff to Montgomery is going to be stopped for no gain. Maybe a yard there. They're actually going to mark him for a loss of 1. Boy, I really thought he got back to that line of scrimmage, but he obviously did not. Second down and 11.
319.
Rodgers in the pistol, it looks like. Drops back, surveys the field. Out to Devontae Adams. And he has a first down. First reception of the game is for 11 yards and enough to move the chains. Defender was right there to tackle him. Rodgers takes the first down snap, hands to Williams with a nice move, but can't regain his balance and will only gain 7 yards. If he had broken that tackle, he would have been, he had a lot of green in front of him. He would have been good to go for a little bit there. Spin move, and just couldn't quite get away from it. If he broke that, there was room to go. As it stands, it's 2nd and 3 on the 40-yard line. Rodgers takes the snap. Out to Jimmy Graham, and that'll be good for a first down. Rodgers is 6 of 7 for 81 yards. So he's been efficient as far as, I think it was at 87% completion percentage, and, you know, good chunks of yards through the air. They just got off to a slow start, and the defense hasn't been able to hold Minnesota to no points. They've held them to field goals, which has kept Green Bay in the game, but they have given up 3 field goal attempts. Obviously, Green Bay hasn't scored a touchdown either. Again, field goals.
Blue 58.
I don't know what I'm saying. That sounds like a John Madden thing right there. That's going to be a huge pass to Davis, who's going to break a tackle down to the 15-yard line. And just like that, Rodgers, 7 for 8, 121 yards. Another 21-yard reception there. Not exactly sure how that math is working. Maybe I may have read that statistic wrong. That may have been closer to a 40-yard gain, and I just goofed. Boom! You forgot all about it. Oh, there you go. 1 reception, 40 yards. Huge play. It's red zone time as we approach the halfway mark through this third quarter. Rodgers back. Drops it off, and that's tipped to the line. Looked like it might have had a shot at an interception there. But fortunately, the ball... Fortunately for... Oh, that was absolutely... Should have been an interception. Oh. Oh, man. Would have been a huge play.
Hey, let's go, come on.
Woulda, coulda, shoulda. Second down for Green Bay. Rodgers takes the snap. Gonna get sacked back at the 21? At the 20-yard line. Third down and 15. Nice defensive play there by Minnesota. There's Rodgers. There's the defender. Just slipped right around that outside. Had a free shot at him. Right around. Whoop. That was Chris Berman. Boom. Whoop, boom, whoop, boom. Like that. What an amazing commentary duo that would be. So just outside the 20-yard line, Rodgers will take the snap in the shotgun. 3rd and 15. He's going to drop it off to Cobb, and that's not going to be enough. That'll get him back to the 2 yards past the original line of scrimmage. 4th and 8. Minnesota's defense, though they gave up the big play, holds Green Bay to another field goal attempt. Zimmer's got to be very happy with that. Crosby on for the kick. It is up. It is good. So 9-6. A game of field goals. I mean, if you have get your digital fantasy football league app downloaded now and be sure to put these kickers on your team. So they're scoring all kinds of points. What if there was a fantasy league of a fantasy league? Like you had a fantasy draft for a Madden season. Fantasy draft for a fantasy draft. Like having a second life. Crosby kicks it away. It'll be... Take a knee in the end zone. That'll be brought out to the 25-yard line. Stephon Diggs, 4 receptions, 111 yards. And this is Minnesota's first drive of the third quarter. Green Bay took up a ton of time on that last drive. 4 minutes and 11 seconds. Unfortunately, only able to come away with 3 points. Kind of reminiscent of that first Minnesota drive of the game, which took off over 4 minutes of the game, of the first quarter clock, and came away with 3 points. So if the trends continue, Minnesota should punt here. But they get a good start there. 8 yards or so. First reception for Rudolph today. Looks like it's going to be actually 7 yards. Second down and 3 for the Minnesota offensive unit. A lot of cushion down there at the bottom of the screen for probably Adam Thielen. Going to run it off to the left. Murray is going to have enough for first down. 3 rushes, 8 yards. Boy, oh boy. And again, they ran right into the defender. Had an opportunity to bounce it outside and pick up some more yards, but whatever. I'm not Lord Madden of the Madden video game, so I have no idea what the thought process is there. First down and 10. Another handoff to Cook. Up the middle for about 4. The rushing offenses haven't been wildly effective today. But I guess when you have a 3-point lead, it doesn't really matter. Second down and 7 for Minnesota. Cousins under center. Hands the ball off to Cook, and that's going to be a nice stop there. Should bring up third and 3, actually. They're going to get 4 yards. That'll end the third quarter. Green Bay took up most of that, 2/3 of that quarter. Came away with a field goal, and it is 9-6 heading into the final quarter of play. Those helmets look good together. The final 6 minutes of the game are going to lead off with a 3rd and 3. If Green Bay can hold here and force a punt, they'll have a shot to tie it up. After those first couple of drives, Green Bay started to look pretty good on offense. Ooh, a nice hard count by Cousins. He's going to get Perry offsides, and that stop isn't going to matter because the penalty is going to be enough for a first down. So a nice hard count. Out Rodgers. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say, I think. Out Aaron, there we go. And that's going to be a 1st and 10. So Green Bay had it. They were right there. And the hard count gets Nick Perry. 1st and 10 for Minnesota. Obviously still plenty of time left. Cousins takes the snap in the shotgun. I stumble over my words. Throws it out to his left, and it's going to be broken up. Kirk Cousins 8 for 12, 182 yards through the air. And a nice defensive play by Kevin King on Stephon Diggs. Got there just in time. Incompletion brings up 2nd and 10. Obviously, it stops the clock as well, which is helpful to the Packers. Handoff to Cook off the right side, and that's going to be a 9-yard gain. Tried to put in some fancy spin moves, but got stopped short of the first down. Green Bay with another opportunity to get off the field on a 3rd down, 3rd and 1. Nice run by Cook. Got Jones with the spin, but Martinez was able to come in and clean up the tackle. Third down, 1 yard to go. Cousins under center. Hand off to Cook, and that's going to be first down. It looks like the official is signaling up at the top of your screen. And Green Bay can't get off the field on 3rd down again. Just enough yardage. First down and 10. Clock starts to become a little bit more of a factor here. Still all 3 timeouts. So don't have to take them just yet, but starting to think about it now. Cousins drops back, misses the pass, and that's going to give Green Bay an opportunity to have the clock stopped for them and bring up a 2nd and 10. I mean, they've had success running the ball, so why stop now? And that looked like a pretty bad miss by Cousins. Too far out in front. That one is right on the money for Rudolph, and that's going to knock him down at the 28-yard line. Get the Vikings down to the 28-yard line. And another first down. Nice open field tackle by Williams there on Rudolph. So first down, under 4 minutes to go. Cousins hands off to Murray. And that's going to be no gain. Maybe he'll hustle in. No gain. 2nd and 10. It's a good start to this chunk of the drive. I mean, he's holding to a field goal in the the game of field goals. Looking pretty good. Second down and 10. Cousins in the shotgun. Hand off to Cook. Green Bay's going to swarm that, and that's going to be a loss of 1. So here we go. 3rd and 11. Clock still moving. No need to take a timeout now. You have plenty of time. Stop here. Hold them to a field goal attempt. Who said field goal games can't be exciting? They're thrilling. Play action pass. Cousins, lots of time. That's going to be a touchdown by Stephon Diggs in the back of the end zone. And yet again, Green Bay can't get off the field on 3rd down. And this time, it's in the end zone for 6. 15-6 here with the extra point pending. 2:34 left. Stephon Diggs got past Clinton Dix just outside of his outstretched arms. Comes down with the touchdown. Ooh, booth review. 2 games, 2 booth reviews. They didn't really show great angles of that in the replay, so I don't know. Looks like it's gonna be... Man, those aren't good angles. Hard to tell. It looked good to me. That touchdown is going to stand. Here is the PAT. Up and good. Probably the longest field goal we've seen today was the point after touchdown. And just like that, it's 16-6, 2:34. Plenty of time. 3 timeouts and the 2-minute warning. So there's a chance. I mean, it doesn't look good, but... So I guess the question here is, what do you go for first? Do you go for the touchdown or do you go for the field goal? Because at some point you're going to have to onside kick it. Well, maybe you don't have to onside kick it. I mean, your defense has not been able to get off the field on 3rd down, so I don't know if I want to put the game in their hands. If it's me, I'm going to go for the touchdown first. try and hopefully hold on to as many timeouts as possible. Man, I don't know. It's a tough situation to be in. But Lord Madden knows all, and he will deliver unto us the final 2 minutes and 34 seconds of this particular game. Man, I mean, what do I go for first? Do I just kick the field goal and call it good? Like, 2 big plays, kick the field goal, put it in the defense's hands? I don't know. Find out what Green Bay does here from the 25-yard line. First and 10. This is not blitz. Aaron Rodgers is going to step up, and he is going to be tackled. It looks like it might be a face mask. A free 15 yards and a first down. I'll put the ball at the 40-yard line. So that's a good start to this drive. Why throw the ball when you can just get penalties? So that gives Green Bay a fresh set of downs with 2.5 minutes to go in the game. Rodgers in the shotgun. Empty backfield. That's a quick pass to Adams for a gain of 7 or 8. And it'll be 2nd and 3. So 7 to 8 yards, somewhere in there. 7.493 yard gain. Clock is moving. Yet again, poor clock management by Green Bay. What are they doing? Will they get off playoff before the 2-minute warning? No, they won't. So 2 minutes left. Green Bay is not going to use their timeouts correctly again. And it's 16-6 at the 2-minute warning. Back in Digital Lambeau. This week's coverage is brought to you by Week in Review. You can check it out every Tuesday on this very YouTube channel. Subscribe so that way you know when more content is available. Thursday night digital football here on youtube.com/channel/smorgasbord of letters and numbers that hopefully will get changed soon. 2nd and 3 after the 2-minute warning. Rodgers drops back. Davante Adams will catch it. Enough for the first down and goes out of bounds. 1:57 to go. Adams' 3rd reception of the game is a pretty big one. Nice little out route there.
Let's go, come on.
Rodgers in the shotgun.
319!
Takes the snap and throws it away. Cobb was in the area, so it's not intentional grounding. Davante Adams is doing a dance for incompletion. Rodgers is standing there, hanging out, I guess. Second down and 10. Rodgers drops back, throws it complete over the middle to Jimmy Graham, it looked like. Hurry up offense in effect here. Still time. You need at least a field goal here. And he ran right into the defender. And they're going to, instead of taking a timeout, they're just going to rush to the line again. It's like they don't realize they're down 2 scores instead of just 1. Rodgers takes a snap at midfield. He rolls out, had a man, and just missed the throw. So it's going to bring up a 3rd and 19 with 1:20 left. Looks like he missed Graham on that last play. Had him, and the throw was just a little bit wide. So here we go. Third down, 19 yards to go. They got to get inside the 30. You figure if they get, I don't know, 10 yards or so, they can at least attempt a field goal. And that looks like it's about what they're going to get. Geronimo Allison with the catch. Oh, they're going for it on 4th and 9. 4th and 8. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. He missed the throw. Boy, this game doesn't make any sense. They needed to just kick the field goal there. I mean, at least attempt it. That's a safer bet than going for it on 4th and 9. Just nowhere near Allison. Kirk Cousins, 225 yards through the air on 10 completions. So that's a good average there. Just over a minute left in the game, 1:02 to be exact. Both teams with all timeouts. Minnesota with a 10-point lead. And a questionable decision there on 4th and 9 for Green Bay to go for it. Doesn't make any sense. At that point, you kick a field goal. Good for the best. Handoff to Cook is going to be stopped for no gain, maybe a loss. Green Bay will take a timeout now. 2nd and 9, they'll give him a yard on the run. 16-6 here, late 4th quarter. We'll be right back. Mike McCarthy struts up and down the sideline. Probably really double thinking that 4th and 9 attempt at this point. Offense staying positive on the sidelines. Defense hoping for a stop. 58 seconds left. 2 timeouts. 2nd and 9 for the Vikings. Another hard count is going to get the offense or the defensive line to jump off sides. Cook with some nifty moves to juke out some ghosts maybe. It's going to be a 5-yard gain anyway. It's going to be 2nd down and 4 for Minnesota. Green Bay's going to take a timeout. We'll be right back. 16-6, late 4th quarter. Back again after another timeout by Green Bay. 2nd down and 4. They're going to be lucky to have any time left on the clock after this. That penalty was huge. Not only was it a 5-yard penalty, but they get to repeat 2nd down and the clock would have still been moving, so they had to take another timeout. So you take, I don't know, 6 seconds off. I mean, this game's all but over at this point. So you take 6 seconds off, that's 47 seconds. The play clock runs for 40. I mean, the game's over. Handoff to Cook. Green Bay takes their 3rd and final timeout, though. It's not going to make a difference. 3rd and 2 when we come back. Just kidding, apparently. Hang on here. They gave me the thing like it was going to be like fade to black, fade in from black, but no. Staying here. Third down and 2 with 49 seconds remaining. Not going to matter. It's going to go back. The 2 big plays in the last 2 minutes of this particular game, as Kirk Cousins just takes a knee, are going to be the decision to go for it on 4th down and the offsides penalty on 2nd and 9. Forced Green Bay to take an extra timeout when they didn't necessarily have to if they had stayed on bounds. or onside, I should say. They stayed in bounds. That wasn't their error. Their error was that they went offside. Green Bay's going to get the ball back with 11 seconds. So instead of 11 seconds that they have now, you add another 40 onto that. So instead of 11, it's 51. Not that it was really going to matter. That fourth down attempt, I should say, was not smart. Had the opportunity for the field goal, probably would have been about a 50-yard field goal or so. Worth it with Mason Crosby. But they missed Geronimo Allison. And this, at this point, is just to pad the stats. Harrison Smith has actually even come up with an interception. And that's going to do it. It's been over for a little bit now, but that, like, seals it officially. It's going to be Minnesota 16, Green Bay 6. That'll drop the Packers in the digital NFL to 0-1 and a tie. It's going to bring the Vikings to whatever their record is. And that'll put them at 2-0, assuming they won their last game, which will base off of real life. Cousins into victory formation, and that will do it. Time runs out, and Minnesota gets the victory. So that's what to look forward to on Sunday, a Minnesota Vikings victory. Hopefully Madden is wrong again. They were wrong last week. Let's see if they're wrong this time. Should be a fun game Sunday morning. Looking forward to watching it play out in real life to see what happens. The Packers are 0-1-1. Their next opponent is somebody. I didn't think to look at that. Should have. There are your final stats. 16-6, 220 passing yards for the Vikings, 7.7 yards of play, and the one takeaway right at the end of the game. Aaron Rodgers will bring his team to the locker room. Hope that they can regroup as they head out on the road to visit Washington next Thursday right here on this YouTube channel, youtube.com/channel/smorgasbord of letters and numbers. Thank you so much for joining us. Be sure to check back on Tuesday for Weekend Review. Thank you so much for watching this video. As always, like and subscribe to the channel, like the video. We'll see you next week in Digital Washington for more digital football.